Okay, guys, welcome back to Let's Get Freaky podcast. I am super excited. I've got a very special guest tonight. We welcome to the show Daniel Lee Barnett. How are you, brother? So excited
I'm
to have you here, man.
I'm very, very well, mate. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good, man. I said to you before we started recording, I see your face quite a lot on my Facebook. Like you're everywhere at the moment. And it's pretty cool.
So I can kind of dive into anything you want. There's loads that I kind of tell and repeat. But
hmm I
first
want
of
it.
all,
I want
how
it
are
all,
you?
brother. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited to talk to you, man. Because as I say, I'm shocked at this, and this is credit to you. You're 15 years of age,
Yeah.
and you are making waves in the Bigfoot community like I don't think I've really seen, to be honest. I know we've got a lot of really awesome, amazing Bigfoot researchers out there, some top guys and ladies, and you are 15, and you are really, you're at the front at the moment, man. It's very exciting. It must
Yeah.
be amazing for you, brother.
Oh, mate, every day is different. Every day I wake up, I have no idea what that day could bring.
Yeah. How exciting, man. How
Yeah.
exciting. I mean, because normally Bigfoot researchers, you're a Bigfoot researcher. Normally, they're in the US.
Hmm.
Normally, they're around the middle age. I don't want to offend any
Yeah.
of our Bigfoot researcher friends here. You're in a very different position. You started this very early on. Where did this start for you, man? How did this start?
So it's probably one of my favorite stories to tell is now a lot of people get into Bigfoot or UFOs or paranormal whatever through reading a book or having a sighting of something or encountering something, experiencing something, or going to a conference. Mine was sat down watching TV, literally sat down watching TV with my granddad. I was at my nanny Gramps for some weird reason, and I walked past Gramps' room, and I saw this program on the TV. Really didn't know what it was, and I just sat down next to him, and I went, "What's this?" And Gramps said it was Expedition Bigfoot. So I was sat watching, for all I knew, these people run around the forest after something and just shouting, screaming, and I was really intrigued by it. So then we then watched a second episode, and then my sister came in and my cousin came in, and we were just sat watching what I knew was just Expedition Bigfoot. Didn't know what Bigfoot was and didn't know really what I was watching. I was about 13 years old, and it kind of just grew from there. And once we then kept watching, and then once we finished, I then turned around to my nan and my cousin who was 8 at the point. I said, "Do you know what? Let's go out in the forest," and that is how it started.
Wow. How cool is that, man?
Yeah.
Wow. So before that, you'd never seen Patterson Gimlin film or anything like that. That was the first taste.
Didn't even know what it was. Did not
Wow.
even no,
Yeah.
not at all. So I once kind of I think it was season yeah, it must have been season three. I saw the PG film on Expedition Bigfoot.
hmm
So I learned a little bit about it then, but did not know anything. Didn't even know Bigfoot was a word until I watched this, which was pretty cool.
That is cool, man. Wow. So for people listening, they probably can hear that you're from the UK,
Yep.
which makes this even cooler, because as I said, what part of the UK in? Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah, yeah. So I am in the southwest of the UK. I'm in Bridgwater, Somerset.
Oh, nice, man. Very
Mhm,
nice part of the UK as well, for sure.
mhm.
So you was out then at that point researching there and then.
So I didn't think Bigfoot was in the UK. All right. So over the first half a year, I had been talking to Gramps back and forth about what Bigfoot could be. Now, this was just discussions. Then one turned around Nan and went, "Do you know what? Let's go out in the forest." and my cousin William, we went, do you know what? Let's go out in the forest, but let's go and look for deer as our Bigfoot. So we went on the Quantock Hills. We went and just went up there and did investigations for about a year, looking for deer prints, casting deer prints, taking eDNA from deer prints, and just looking where deer would live. Now, obviously, people see deer all the time, but we were actually going to research them, and then we actually saw some deer, and it was just amazing. So we kind of did that for about a year, and that is how we were learning skills of how to actually research throughout that first year. So it was Bigfoot, but not Bigfoot. Now, during that first year, I then started my podcast, and it kind of then started to grow from there.
Oh man, so you were sort of out like training basically,
Yeah.
and wow, yeah.
So it kind of once that year was done, so once we called it Expedition Deer. So after Expedition Bigfoot, we and then from there, I then turned around to Nan when we can't stop going out in the forest. So we then, and at that point, I had started my podcast to a point where I was speaking to researchers. I was a little bit more in the world. And I then went, do you know what? Let's go and look for an actual cryptid now. Let's go and look for our local big cat. So we then pick a location. We then pick where we would want to look, and it was close enough. So me and Nan went up, okay, and we were wandering through this forest, and we were hearing sounds. I think it was about 7:30, 8 in the morning. And it was summer, so it's nice kind of. And we're walking up this ridge, and I Nan is probably about 500 meters behind me, I would say. And then I have a tap on my shoulder, and I turn around going, "What? What? I'm looking. It's a lovely, peaceful morning. What?" And she's like, "Daniel, just look down." I go, "Look down? Why?" And to be honest, I'm looking down for 3 minutes, mate. And Nana stood next to me, and she's 73 now. And we were both looking down for 3 minutes. Oh, because we could not believe what was in front of us. Now, we then looked at each other, looked back down, looked at each other, looked back down. And then I was the one to say the first word, "What is that?" And it was Nan who then said to me, "That looks like a footprint." And I go, "Yeah, it actually does." So we measured it, and it was 18 inches, a footprint of 18 inches. Now,
Wow.
a lot of people go, "Oh, you have Bigfoot in your mind." I'm like, we were looking for a big cat,
Hmm.
big cat. And so we didn't, it's not like we have Bigfoot remotely in our minds. So we then came back, and I then went, do you know what? We need to go and take eDNA, environmental DNA, and cast that print today. So we drove all the way back up there, and learning from what I had learned from Expedition Bigfoot, I took eDNA and we casted that print, and I sent the eDNA off to a lab. Now, a lot of these new podcasts like you guys haven't really heard that story because I don't tell this like on Facebook anymore, but because it's a couple of years old now.
Hmm.
So we I emailed about 10 different labs, and that was without dad knowing and without mum knowing. And when mum and dad were in a shop, and they were shopping, and dad got a phone call from a lab in Portugal saying, "Hi, we're responding to your son's email to us." And Dad went, "Who is this? Who is this?" And then goes, "Hold on a minute." Mum gets me on the phone going, "Daniel, why is the Portugal science lab ringing us saying about eDNA?" So they then kind of get we organize stuff, and they come and get a courier to come pick the samples up. It goes to Portugal, and I'm talking back and forth to the scientists, and they said we need to manage expectations when this comes out. When your results come out, we need to keep it kind of. And I went, yeah, yeah, of course. And they said the chances of something coming out is 1%, 1%. I go, yeah, it's fine. So then we're then Bigfoot hunting in the forest for 6 weeks or so, and I'm in touch with them every other day. And it gets the last week, and they go, "We need an extra week of sequencing." I go, "What? Okay, out of normal procedure, fine." Didn't really think anything of it. And it's like I'm talking to mum about kind of it could be badger DNA, it could be fox DNA, and we were so interested that we could have caught animals that live in forest. And then one day, Dad gets a phone call from this company, and I was with Nan at the point, and they said, "Look, we want to call you before sending you the results." And I go, "Okay, fine." Dad went, "So this is what the scientist said to Dad was, we have no idea what your son has done and how he's done it, but this is something unbelievable that I've never seen before." On the results was human DNA, chicken DNA, pigeon DNA, fox DNA, badger DNA, and traces of old world monkey and great ape DNA. Now, if you want to tell me how that got in that footprint, I, I'm all ears. Now, at that point, I go, "Oh, okay, we may have actually just done it. We may have actually just found something that is unexplainable." Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, apparently I said this is Bigfoot DNA," and I'm like, I am very careful not to say that this is Bigfoot DNA
Hmm.
because unless I saw Bigfoot make this footprint, I am not going to say it is, and it's come very, very hard sometimes. But what came back on that was remarkable. And from that point, it's just exploded, and yeah, just it's gone massive.
Bro, that is insane. Wow. I mean, how can you explain how ape DNA has got into that footprint? Like, that is incredible.
So basically, what a lot of people said was, "Oh, it's a kind of it's misread in this footprint."
Hmm.
But what a lot of people don't know, and what I haven't told a lot of people, is further down the trail, so about 15 minutes away, we found other indentations, not as clear as this one, but we took samples from that as well, and old world monkey DNA popped up on that as well. Now that's 15 minutes away. You-
Whoa.
You're now telling me that no, no,
That,
I'm sorry, no. So,
no, man.
and we sent 5 different samples of 5 different things, and an old world monkey came back on three. So hold on. So you're now telling me that three someone has miscommunicated 3 different no. Now through so that was about 2 years ago now. So through that time, I so great ape DNA, as humans we carry great ape DNA. We don't with old world monkey. So how the old world monkey has got in there, I no,
That's
I
that's
put
incredible.
I know, mate. I
That
know.
is incredible.
Yeah,
And I mean, and firstly, credit to you for even, you know, taking a sample and sending it off and pushing people to get these answers.
yeah,
That's insane. Not many people would do that, especially at 13.
yeah.
So credit to you, brother. I think you're a lot smarter than most people my age. I'm 37. So, man, that is wild. And I
Yeah,
mean, and how can you argue with that, especially when you found it? I mean, anywhere, just one is amazing, but to find three as well, so there's something moving around. It's just incredible.
yeah. And say people keep saying that, oh well, he's a Bigfoot researcher, and then from that point, I'm like, me and Nan keep sitting down and going, we were just out in the forest. It was me and my grandmother who were just out in the forest. Do you think we're intelligent enough to kind of? I'm like that. It's so interesting to the point of it's unbelievable, and yeah. But from that point, things have just gone to a crazy point.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as you say, there are a lot of reports. I've spoken to people in the UK that have seen these things, that I trust, that I believe. I know
Hmm.
it sounds wild to your average person. They're like, no. But people that don't look into the Bigfoot stuff, they're
Hmm.
going to be like, no way. And I mean, even to people that are hard into research, into
Yeah.
Bigfoot research, will say that there's none in the UK.
Yeah.
How could there be? It's too small. Where are they going to survive? How would we not know? But
Absolutely.
I mean, the evidence that you've got there is very much points that there's something there, man. How can
Totally.
you deny it? And going back to what you're saying about the big cat, my mother-in-law saw a black panther 20 years ago in
Wow.
Essex, and so they're out there as well. And there is
Mhm.
stuff out there that we don't know, 100%.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously now you've got the documentary. Is it all focused on this footprint and this DNA?
A lot more. So if I go in chronological order, then so after that, I released my first book, and I kind of said all about DNA, and in that we then started conferences for children, and we were encouraging kids and families to get out into nature. Now, the first one that I ever did was September 2023, and that was in a cafe. I think we had about 15 people turn up. It was brilliant. There was two people who turned up. One ex-army and ex-Queen Guard that turned up, and his name was Chris Alsford. And I interviewed him, and he's seen a great white shark in the UK before, and it was great just talking to him. So that was 2023. He is now my kind of partner in crime in everything that I now do. So it was kind of from that point we then started to build those relationships with people. Then I actually started doing conferences with guests in November 2023. So then it started to build and build and build. Now, on my DNA, we had national press involved, and the Daily Star picked it up. We had Wales Online picked it up. People in America picked it up. So it was kind of it was huge, which was nice. And now there's one thing that I always remember. There was one person who shared my post that I posted on Facebook, and that was Ronnie LeBlanc from Expedition Bigfoot, and he was
Wow.
phenomenal. That was just amazing moment to kind of go. You've just shared my post, so
Yeah.
that was really really cool. And then fast forward to the beginning then of 2024. I get a phone call from Martin Pippin from the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference, Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Conference, and the Caribbean Cruise, and they run gather up events. So they do loads of conferences over the US. And he says, "I want you to speak at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference," and I'm like, okay. Literally, that was my reaction. I kind of just shouted downstairs, going, "Dad, I need your help." so
I'm
so
going to America.
yeah. So we arranged to go to Florida, which is amazing. And then a week after that, I then got a phone call from Monica from M&M Productions that runs a film production company, going, "We want to do a documentary on you and your journey." I'm like, "Oh, fantastic! That's amazing." So it was a couple of weeks after that, I then met two amazing people that are now also my right hand men and are now in my team. Ryan RPG Golden Besky from Finding Bigfoot and Expedition Bigfoot, and I met Ronnie as well, which
Wow.
is amazing.
Yeah.
So so kind of at that point it just grew and grew, and then we filmed some stuff here in the UK last April, and we did a conference with Ronnie, Ryan, and Renee Holland from Finding Bigfoot, and that's just amazing. I thought perfect. And then on the last night of our shoot, myself, Monica, and RPG were down at the bar ordering food, and stupidly, Ryan said, shouldn't we go to America to do some Bigfoot hunting? And me and Monica looked at each other and went, could do. We have the budget to. So we ended up then planning a trip to the Bigfoot Mecca of the world. And we went to the Olympic Peninsula in Washington. And that is the second part of the documentary, which I'll go on to in a minute. So we were kind of it's just amazing. We went to the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference. I spoke in front of about 3 to 5 thousand people, and it was just amazing to speak with all these different people, and all the guests that were there were just fantastic. And some of the encounters I heard, some of the stories, it was just amazing. So it kind of, when I mean it, it blew up from there. It blew up from there. And then we went to Seattle, and this is the only thing that I can say until it's released. My dad, Monica, my grandparents came. I left my mum and sister behind with dogs. um, and we went, and a lot of people went, but not believing at all. We all came back knowing.
Wow. Bro.
And to go on top of that, I was with one of the main guest stars of Finding Bigfoot, James Bobo Fay,
Oh, what a
was with us
legend, man.
in Seattle as well,
Oh, bro.
and it was just fantastic.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Bro, I want to join your team. Let's make this happen. If you need a luggage guy, just someone to
Don't
carry
worry,
your
mate.
luggage,
Don't worry.
I'll
Yeah,
do it. I'll do
yeah.
whatever you need. If you need to send someone in the forest first that might get killed, I'll do it. I'll do what I've got to do, man. I'll do what I do. That's incredible, bro. Wow.
Yeah.
So I know you can't say too much about the documentary because it's coming soon. When is it coming? When is it dropping?
So it should be coming later this year. I know that we're going to actually release some footage at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference this year. So I'm actually heading out to Florida in a couple of weeks' time. And then at my conference at the end of May, we'll then possibly be releasing some stuff there as well. And say that it should be coming out later this year.
Wow, man. How exciting.
Mhm.
Very exciting, man. So you just mentioned there as well, you've got the Crypticon UK.
Yeah.
So that's coming this year as well. I've always said that we need something like that in the UK. I've always thought that, and you've done it, man. And that is cool. Can you tell us when that is?
So that will be so this so we have several organizers, and it sends a shiver down my spine every time I say this. So it's a 3-day conference on May 30th, 31st, and 1st of June of this year.
Bro, I'm definitely going to try and get down to one of them. 100%. Is that, you have to get your tickets now for that if anyone's
Yeah,
listening
yeah,
and wants
yeah.
to go?
So basically, to explain a little bit more about it. So on so our main conference day is the Saturday, so Saturday the 31st of May. We have over 25 US researchers coming over. Our guest headliner is Ryan RPG Goldenbeski. We have the entire Alaskan Killer Bigfoot cast. We have all different researchers from the UK coming to this. And then on Friday, we have a forest excursion where you can actually go out in the forest. And we have Harvest Moon coming over from the Olympic Peninsula. She is a tribal elder, and she's in Expedition Bigfoot and some other TV programs as well. And she travels around the states, and she tells legends to kids and goes into schools. And she'll be coming over and telling legends in the forest. I'm like, you can't get any better than that.
Bro,
You literally can't get any better than that.
sign me up. I need to, after we spoke, I need to get tickets.
Definitely, mate. Definitely.
I am definitely going to be coming to that, man. That sounds.
And then we have all different Q&As. And then we are doing a screening on the Sunday evening of Legends Meet Science by Doug Hychek, and Doug will actually be coming on virtually to show parts of Legends Meet Science 2 that should be coming out very, very, very soon. And say it's just a fun-filled weekend for everyone. And it's taking a lot of my time up, trust me.
I can
But
imagine. I can
yeah,
imagine.
it's kind of a fantastic weekend, and we've got things for everyone. And so if people aren't even interested in Bigfoot, we have an outside that is, I'm taking up of this venue, uh, three halls, two courtyards, and a football-sized field. Um, and say we have show cars there, ponies there, we have vendors, bouncy castles, everything, and we have a 500 space car park as well, so we don't need to worry about parking for anyone.
Yeah.
So it is just a fantastic weekend, and I'm possibly just trying to secure a very, very big guest that I should be releasing very, very soon.
Wow, man. Wow. How do you do this and schoolwork as well? How do you cope,
So basically,
man?
I'm also autistic as well. And I have this, and when I come off camera and I try and step into school, I literally can't step through the gate. I literally can't get through the gate. It's something that I can't do. So I'm in year 11 now, so I should be taking my exams in May as well. May's going to be a very, very busy month. Um, and say so I'm doing my schoolwork at home, and then I'll go in and take my GCSEs, and then I finish at the end of June. So I'm still kind of doing my school from home. And then so I'm out of school, and then yeah.
Massive respect, man. Massive respect. And I shouldn't say this because my wife is a school teacher as well, so I'll whisper it. But I don't think the schoolwork's going to matter for you. I don't think you need to do any exams or anything like that. I think I shouldn't say that, but it's true. I think
Both
you're.
my mum and dad work in school. My mum's an assistant head teacher, and my dad
Wow.
works as a guitar teacher and other things around different schools. So it's kind of, but they went, I'm doing so much better out of school.
Yeah, you don't need it.
Um,
Who
and
needs school, man?
yeah.
Oh my God.
um, and but yeah, it's just fantastic to where kind of there's so much else that is going on, and say on top of all that, I'm now a co-owner of a production company. The so I It's four different owners: myself, Chris Alsford, who I mentioned earlier, RPG, and my dad. And we are together building a new TV series called Legend Seekers. We filmed our first couple of episodes down in Dartmoor about a month and a half ago, and we'll be on Florida to film some more. And
Oh,
there's
bro.
that I will be visiting Loch Ness this year as well.
Oh, man, you're living the dream, brother. Wow. And Dartmoor's not too far from me. I used to go there a lot when I was a kid. I'm about 2.5 hours from Dartmoor. Beautiful
No,
place, man. Beautiful place.
nice.
Wow, brother. Incredible.
No,
Incredible, man. You're 2 years older than my eldest daughter as well,
oh,
which is
really? No.
which is wild.
Wow.
Wow, man. So
Yeah.
are you getting a lot of reports yourself now from people that are seeing Bigfoot in the UK? Are you hearing a lot of
So
stories now?
the more and more myself and the team kind of spread the word, the more we're getting. So now it's like going back to my first conference to the one this year. We're building the same group different year. So it's like the first year, first conference with guests, we had about 50 people. Then we went to about 150, and then we're building. So there's people that are very interested out there. And then very recently in Dartmoor, we did a town hall meeting down in Dartmoor, where people came to tell their sightings, and that is a really good way of hearing what people think and building that group even more and building that community
Hmm.
a lot more. So yes, I would say that there's a lot more, and say upcoming in this new series, we explore some really interesting witnesses and accounts, let's say, and then RPG's coming over from Florida, and he'll be hosting the local discussion evidence event at the cryptid conference. And that is, I think I've got 6 local witnesses, 3 Bigfoot ones that are all down here in the Southwest. So, and one approached me, and then so yeah, we're getting a lot of different accounts of Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, all sorts of stuff like that.
Interesting, man. Yeah. Because I guess it's like a lot of people, especially in the UK, people in the UK are a little bit different anyway, in the sense that they don't sort of share information very freely as much
Mm,
as, like, I would say the US. You know,
mm,
people are a little bit more, they won't talk about these things as much, I would say, in
yeah.
general. Not guys like me and you, but so so there's probably a lot of people out there that have these experiences that won't share them just because they don't want to sound crazy, you know? It's like the UFO stuff now, more people will come out and talk about it because it's on the mainstream all the
Yeah.
time. It's become, we know there's more out there, so more people are willing to say, yeah, I've seen a weird light in the sky that I can't explain. Sort of become accepted. You know,
Mm,
will there be a point where it's more accepted that people can share Bigfoot encounters? I'm sure it
yeah.
will.
Absolutely. And so that's where we're trying to build that community. Now, I last time I checked, myself and the team were the first people in in the UK to do a Bigfoot conference to bring US to UK, and we're also now bringing UK to US. Now,
Love
there
it.
are people that don't like that. They think UK should be UK, US should be US. But in my theory, if we're ever gonna prove this creature's existence, if we're ever gonna do this, we have to do it together.
100%,
And
man. Yeah.
that's what we're doing, and that's what we're trying to build. And I think that we're doing that very slowly by building that UK community by bringing the US involved.
Yeah, 100%. People get very tribal. I don't get it, man. People are so tribal about everything, you know. Even in like the Bigfoot community, you've got the woo against the flesh and blood, and that sometimes
Yeah,
gets a little tense. Don't really understand that myself because we all just want the answers, you know.
yeah.
You know, we're all just here trying to figure out what is going on. But where do you stand with what the Bigfoot is? Like, what is your opinions on that at the moment?
So um that's a question that I always keep thinking about in my head. And I can remember the very first podcast I did, and they said, "What do you think Bigfoot is?" The 3 questions was, "What do you think Bigfoot is? What do you reckon you would do when you come across a Bigfoot? And what do you think about the different camps of Bigfoot?" And I never used to answer that question, and I always thought flesh and blood primate kind of. It wasn't until I went to Seattle where I can now answer that question. I can now say that it is flesh and blood. Um, yeah.
I can't ask you anymore, can I?
Um, well, I'll answer the second question for you that I just said was what would I do? And I always thought I would run away. Turns out it was the complete opposite.
Bro, bro. And this, all these answers are going to be in the documentary. We're gonna find
Absolutely,
out what.
absolutely. And
Man,
this is what a lot of people are thinking. So, um, uh, in the Bigfoot world, they are thinking that this is another expedition Bigfoot coming people's way, and we're letting people think that. But what this documentary is, and if people read our official poster properly, is it is not just Bigfoot, and it's a lot about Bigfoot, but it's about my journey, and it's about autism, and it's about family. That's the baseline of it. Is that it's about that anyone can do anything, whether it's anything. But that's where people are thinking that that's coming. And I think people are going to be quite shocked when they see it. When we go, actually, it is Bigfoot, and there are big highlights at the end of it. Um, but it's based on autism and my journey throughout the past few years.
oh, I love that, man. That's awesome. Well, you are doing an incredible job, brother.
Hmm.
I'll share this with you quickly as well.
Yeah,
So when we first moved to this area, we've got a big forested area behind us, like heathland, and it's got a they call it the devil dog. There's a devil dog law there where people, claim to have seen what like a dogman type creature, werewolf,
yeah.
that sort of thing. It's got that law there. I didn't know about it when I first moved here, and I didn't know about it until quite being here for quite a while. I was here for
Mhm.
quite a while before I spoke to someone about it.
Yeah.
But one night, me and my two daughters were walking through the forest, and my eldest, Amy, she saw something in the distance and really freaked out. And she was like, Dad, I've just seen a Bigfoot. I've just seen a big. And at the time, I was like, No, you've not seen a Bigfoot. You've been watching one of my documentaries because, like you, I was always watching the documentaries, and you've seen something you're not meant to have seen. And she described. I was like, Tell me what you saw. What did you see? And she's like described a Bigfoot in the distance with like yellow eyes. This is how she said, and this is going back a couple of years. And I was like, no, 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 you haven't. You haven't, baby. You're seeing things. You know how just trying to protect her. I don't want her to be scared of anything. And then it wasn't until finding out about the devil dog law there and stuff, and then now I'm like, and then a few other little things have happened in that forest as well. I've not seen anything. Well, I've seen something possibly strange that I can't say it was a werewolf, but I saw like what I thought was a fox, but it was
Okay.
grey and it looked a bit bigger than a fox, but I don't know what that was. But
Mm.
so there's stuff out there, man, that we can't explain. Like we don't
Yeah.
know. Like, the science says that it's not there, but there's a lot of evidence that this stuff is there. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying my daughter definitely saw a Bigfoot. It could have been an imagination at that time. I don't
Yeah.
know, but
Yeah.
I won't say it wasn't for sure.
Definitely. And so that is what we have been doing. We have found things from bone pits to what looks like um 15 feet in the air, tree structures, shadows, whatever. But not once have I said that any of this is Bigfoot.
Hmm.
Not once. And I'm very, very careful and diligent to not, because that then means it could be anything. It could just be, and it was just really, really interesting. Say thing, even here in the UK, when Ronnie, Ryan, Rene came over, we found some weird, weird stuff here. That's weird, and not as much as US, but it was weird here.
Interest. Can I ask what sort of things?
No.
I can't. Ah. Can you tell us some like hot spots in the UK that you're hearing? Is there areas that are like standing out for you at the moment as being potential Bigfoot hotspots?
So I know that up in Scotland, so I know kind of there's a lot of stuff up there that could be up there. I know that those are hotspots up there. I also know down in Dartmoor is a big big area for it.
Not far from me.
It's not it is a big area for things like Bigfoot, and there's the legend of the hairy hands that was quite interesting where when we were down there. We were kind of investigating things, and we had some weird stuff happen. And say it was, yeah. So it's really, really interesting what when you dive into it a little bit, that's where kind of it. And my theory is if we prove big cats are real, it dramatically increases the potential for Bigfoot.
Hmm.
Now, people in the US go, the Bigfoot can't be in the UK. I go, have you been to the UK? They went, no. You hardly get to say that.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
And say it's like when, so I think it was, yeah, it was January when Ryan came over from Florida. It was the fourth time he's been here, and he just stood here and went, it's possible. It is possible for some to hide. If
Hmm.
big cats can hide from us, so can Bigfoot.
100%, man. I know we're small. We're
Mm,
smaller than a lot of
mm,
countries, but
absolutely.
there is still a lot of forested areas where if you wanted to, if you were skilled enough to, you could hide out and not be found, you know?
Hmm.
So if there's a creature out there that, you know, for whatever reason that these creatures don't want to interact with humans because they clearly don't,
Yeah.
they could probably avoid us, you know, whether that is underground or wherever they go, you know,
Mm.
they could avoid us for sure. And
Totally.
if they're as smart as us or smarter, what chance have we got, you know?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, and that's why we're doing a lot in the UK as well. Is kind of is finding that stuff out.
Hmm. Oh, I want to ask you about your experience so bad, but we're going to save it for the documentary. We're excited for the documentary.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely, and so to kind of name, because up and down the UK, I'm kind of here, there, everywhere. In mid-May, I will be in Peterborough and Kent, doing a film Comic Con. It's two in one weekend. Where I've been asked to go to the Feel the Force Day, and I'm going to another film Comic Con on the Sunday to kind of spread the documentary's word, and then in the summer, I will then be traveling back over to the States, and I will be heading to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. And I will then be headlining a conference in Pennsylvania, along with Ronnie LeBlanc, Amy Boo from Project Zoo Book. I've got, I think, RPGs there, and so many other amazing people there. So it should be an amazing conference.
Yeah. Well, you are a very impressive young man, brother. I
Thanks, mate.
think it's
Thanks.
very exciting to see. And flying the flag for the Bigfoot UK I love Bigfoot, man. It's one of my favourite subjects. So the fact that you're doing it for the UK and you're getting us out there and we're learning a lot, and you've already picked up some incredible evidence, you know,
Yeah.
it is super, super exciting, man. And keep up the great work, brother.
Thanks so much, mate. Thanks.
Can I just ask you quickly? We've got a little bit of time. Can I ask you if you've had any other paranormal experience, not Bigfoot related? Any other weird things happened? While you're on Let's Get Freaky, I've got to ask you.
Okay, so I can't say a couple due to the NDA for the documentary. There is one though that I said on a podcast earlier this week where so when Ronnie LeBlanc came over to the UK, Dad went to pick him up from I think it was Heathrow. So he picked him up, and Ronnie said, "It's the first time I've ever been to the UK. I really want to see Stonehenge." So Dad's like, "Okay, we're we're gonna go to Stonehenge." Now he told me this story, and like when they arrived, and I was shocked by what they saw and what they caught on camera. So Dad's racing to try and get Ronnie before all the sun sets, trying to get into Stonehenge, and they get there just as the sun's going down. It's beautiful. So Ronnie gets out, starts taking pictures, and Ronnie says to Dad, the only thing that made this moment perfect if a UFO came over us at the moment. So they jump back in the car, and Dad starts driving, turns the engine on, and driving for about 3 seconds, and in the corner of the car, just probably just as the sun is setting, there's a fireball in the shape of a teardrop in the sky. A lot of swear words came out at that point, and as Dad's looking, he's like, I'm still on the road." And Ronnie goes, "Oh my God, what is that?" It was about 5 to 8 seconds. They went behind a house, came out the other end, and it was gone.
Wow.
Like that.
Wow. He asked for it and he got it. Bro.
And Dad has now vowed never to get in a car with Ronnie again.
Well, that area, as you know, that is very. There's a lot of UFO activity there that get reported in that area. I'm not too far from Stonehenge either, and that is
Yeah.
there's a magical feeling there, man, for sure.
Wow.
Oh, brother, what a pleasure talking to you tonight, man. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks for inviting me on, mate.
Yeah, well, you're welcome back anytime. And if, as I said, if you need a team member, to do anything, whether it's carrying luggage, anything, I'm there. Just give me a call.
And say, yeah, it's I will probably come back on as soon as I can say more about the doc.
Yeah, yeah, let us know, man. Whenever you're
Yeah,
ready, we'll have you back
absolutely,
100%. Brother, can
absolutely.
you tell the listeners where they can find you right now and all that cool stuff?
Absolutely. So, if you are looking for my podcast, Mythical Legends, you can go onto Facebook and find me under Mythical Legends Podcast or Mythical Legends My Bigfoot Life. That is a Facebook group. If you wanted to get info on myself book, then you can visit mythicallegends.co.uk. That's my website where you have where I'm going to be this year and any other things. And then if you're looking purely for the conference, on Facebook, we have Crypticon UK, which is our general group, which I put announcements in every day. Or if you are one of our VIPs, then you can join our Crypticon community VIP group again on Facebook. And if you wanted to email me, then if it's a podcast with encounters or anything, then you can email me at mythicallegends29@gmail.com. Or if you wanted to email me about the conference, then you can email me at ukbrt.db@gmail.com. And if you wanted to reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, I am also on there under Daniel Lee Barnett.
Awesome, brother. Awesome, brother. It's been a pleasure talking to you. Keep up the great work and very exciting times ahead.
Amazing. Thank you so much, bud.
Thank you, brother. Guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, make sure you share it where you can. That is a great way to support the show, and we'll be back very soon for more freaky conversations. In the meantime, stay safe and keep it freaky. Bye for now. Thank you, brother.